What if I told you that you could multiply huge numbers in your head faster than you could even punch them into a calculator? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on some secrets to lightning-fast mental math that'll totally change how you see numbers.
Okay, let's just jump right in. No warm-ups, you've got 5 seconds on the clock. What is 86 times 84? Go!
Time's up. The answer is 7,224. Did you get it? Probably not, right? It seems kind of impossible. If you were reaching for your phone, hey, you're not alone. But just stick with me here.
Because what if I told you there's a simple pattern that cracks this problem in seconds? By the end of this, you're going to know that secret. You'll be able to do it yourself. And no, it's not magic. It's just about learning to see the math in a whole new way. So, let's get into our first big secret. This is all about spotting hidden patterns, and we're going to start with one of the slickest and simplest tricks in the book. Our first secret weapon revolves around the number 11. I want you to just forget everything you learned in school about long multiplication. This trick for multiplying any two-digit number by 11 is just crazy fast. Let's break it down with an example. 43 times 11. So what you do is you take the two digits, the 4 and the 3, and you just split them apart. Imagine a little space in between. Now you add those two digits together. 4 plus 3 is 7. And for the final step, you just pop that 7 right in the middle, and bam, just like that, you've got your answer, 473. I mean, it's super fast, right? And this is such a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Patterns are everything. You're not just crunching numbers, you're actually seeing the hidden structure behind them. Okay, that was a pretty easy one. But what happens if the two digits you add up give you a number that's 10 or more? Let's try 68 times 11. The idea is exactly the same. There's just one tiny extra step. So here's how that carryover works. First, add the digits like before. 6 plus 8 gives you 14. Now, since 14 is a two-digit number, you take the second digit, the 4, and you place it in the middle. But what about the 1? Well, you carry that 1 over and add it to the first digit, the 6. So 6 plus that carried 1 is 7. Put it all together, and what do you get? 748. Still incredibly fast. All right, you've totally got the 11s trick down. So let's level up. We're moving on to something that feels way more advanced. A super simple method for squaring any two-digit number, all in your head. So here's the next puzzle for you. Forget your multiplication tables for a second. How would you calculate 31 squared, like right now, without writing a single thing down? Well, the secret is this really cool three-part method. For part 1, you square the first digit. So 3 squared is 9. That's the beginning of our answer. For the last part, you square the last digit. 1 squared is, 1. That's the end of our answer. And for the middle, you just multiply the two digits together. So 3 times 1, and then you double it. That gives you 6. So now we have our three pieces, a 9, a 6, and a 1. You just line them up, and there's your answer, 961. It's such an elegant way to turn what seems like a hard problem into 3 really, really simple steps. Fantastic! You're getting this. Now, for the final secret. This is the one. This is the big one that's behind some of the most impressive mental math feats you'll ever see. I like to call it the grand illusion, the near base number trick. So, the base method is all about multiplying numbers that are really close to a nice round number, what we call a base, like 100 or 1,000. And here's the kicker. Instead of actually multiplying the big clunky numbers, you just play around with their small differences from that base. Let's see it in action with 98 times 97. Our base here is obviously 100, so we just look at the difference. 98 is 2 less than 100, so we'll call that minus 2, and 97 is 3 less than 100, so that's a minus 3. Getting this little setup right is the entire key. And now for the magic. First, you cross-subtract. You can either do 98 minus 3, or you can do 97 minus 2. It doesn't matter. Either way, you get 95. That's the first part of your answer. For the second part, you just multiply those little differences together. Negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. Now, and this is the really clever bit, because our base, 100, has 2 zeros, our second part has to have 2 digits. So we don't write 6, we write 06. And there you have it. You just put the two parts together, 95 and 06. The answer is 9,506. Think about that. We just solved a pretty nasty multiplication problem with a little bit of super simple subtraction. It's amazing. So look at that. In just a few minutes, you've picked up 3 seriously powerful techniques. But it's actually more than that. This is your new reality. You now have your very own mental math toolkit.
You see, the real secrets aren't even the tricks themselves. It's the thinking behind the tricks. It's all about training your brain to look for patterns and shortcuts. It's about breaking down big, scary problems into small, easy pieces. It's about understanding why a trick works. And trust me, with a little practice, this way of thinking makes you unbelievably fast.
So please, remember this. These aren't just clever party tricks. They are fundamentally new ways of seeing and playing with numbers. You've basically learned to find the simple, elegant patterns that were hiding in plain sight the whole time.
And with that, we'll end on one last challenge for you. What's 95 squared? You could use that squaring method we learned earlier, or you could think of it as 95 times 95 and use the base method. See, you've got the tools now. The choice is yours. Go on, give it a shot.